Hey, I'm Austin, and welcome to Fucking Mess. This is the companion show to Stir Crazy, and yeah, I don't really want to show too much of what's going on here, but just rest assured, it's a fucking mess, and we're gonna make some food today. All right, I don't want to get too long in the tooth of this show. This show's about quick, easy food. Here's one. Cowboy Curtis is what Sue and I call this. Maybe Texas caviar. Open beans or cooked beans or whatever. You fucking dice up some scallions, leftover pieces of pepper, whatever. You make a sauce like a little oil, a little vinegar, maybe some lime juice, hot sauce, whatever. Salt it. Here we got rhubarb from the neighbor's yard. We're going to make a pie out of this later, maybe. All right, so this stuff. I skipped lunch. I fucking lost a day yesterday. Lunch. Clearing the counter, and we got a little inspiration. I got all these random cans of tuna that I piled inexplicably on the counter. Sue's got some sprouts we got to use up. We'll make up some tuna salad. Not tonight. So we hopped on the Instant Pot craze. I don't know what the fuck these are doing here. And we got one. So I'm going to use this. I like it okay. It takes up a lot of counter space, though, as you can see. So anyway, regular lid for it's dirty. We'll get to that. So I'm going to use its crock pot lid. It's basically like a pressure cooker, and it also has a sear function and slow cook function, which is what I'm going to use. Butter and olive oil going. There's our onions. How many? That many. All right, these are going to go for a while. Typically, you cook them like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. You want them like translucent because then we're going to reconstitute them with something. We're on the sear function. And we're just giving it a stir occasionally. Got a bunch of random vegetable scraps. We're going out to the composter. Pulled some dandelions today. Might make a salad. Alright, here's my shitty composter that I need to rotate more frequently. This was going to be a rain barrel, but to DIY, sometimes you gotta D a few I's before you get it right. I'm wearing fucking open-toed shoes outside and in the kitchen because I tried to break in some new shoes today, which I'm not wearing because I gave myself a nice fucking fat blister. Sometimes life is a fucking mess, but you just got to get through it. Stir them. Don't keep it going. Don't ignore them too long. You know, we're gonna keep it going. I think I had it on for 10 minutes. We'll keep doing this for about 30-ish. That's going. Inartfully loaded dishwasher. These things are loud as fuck too, by the way. Alright. Only dish detergent they had it at the store, which I hate. Nah, you're fine, Cascade, whatever. I just hate how it gets in the cracks of our shitty dishwasher. Ugh. Alright, here's a drink. It's toasted almond. It's got an ounce and a half of amaretto, almost done on that bad boy. Ounce and a half of Kahlua. I rinsed out the shot glass with a little bit of vodka, so now it's a fucking roasted, toasted almond. I don't make up the names. Look at this. I sprayed a little, okay, oh, and yeah, there's almond milk in here because we have a bunch of it instead of regular milk, because why the fuck not? And some Ready Whip. I could have tried to mix it into the Ready Whip, but I found Ready Whip kind of like stays chunky. It's got other stuff than heavy cream in it. And then I happened to manage to spray all my bottles with Ready Whip, so I get to wipe all that up too. Hooray. Alright, I'm acting really bitchy, but that's pretty good. Alright, rhubarb. Looking pretty sexy now. Used to just look like sour celery that came up in the yard. Alright, so here's some good looking ones. You want ones that are like, you know, 1/2 inch wide or so, have the nice reddish blush. If you can. Some of my rhubarb is real green, but I don't know. It all tastes the same to me. Here's this one that I would reject. You don't want your split ones that are like overly big and woody. So I put rhubarb leaves in the garbage. I don't compost them because they have oxalic acid, and you don't want to have any traces of them in your pie. I also, much like you at home, fretted over the split ends. Here's my celery. I'm going to have it and maybe even third some of these, if you will, and dice it fairly fine. Got some weird looking rhubarb because it's celery, stupid. Fooled you. All right. We're going to make some French onion soup too, right? Okay, there's our chopped up rhubarb. 4 cups is what I needed. Am I good or what? All right, so this is for the all the half onions you've been saving because you forgot you were saving half onions. It's their time to shine. I'm going to add a little bit of celery and a little bit of carrots because we got a lot of them. I'm just going to dice them small, but this is about the onions. When? Right now? Okay. There you go, there you go. Cats are fed. Fucking ants are fed. So that's the big onion and the half onion, and I picked out the low-hanging fruit from the bag that looked the worst. I'm going to do those two. My eyes are watering a bit. That means my knife is dull, and yes it is. I suck at sharpening knives. Sue got me these things, onion goggles, which is like totally a solution to, not the right solution to a problem, but they actually are quite effective. But now I can't find them. Alright, my skillets are wiped out and lightly oiled. These belong to a family friend, and I inherited them, and I use these a lot for most of my cooking. I remember coming to a friend's house, visiting them once, and they had big marks on the wall where all their skillets hung. Mine just kind of sit on the stovetop. I am lightly heating them. Going to use them? Not today. Ugh. These things are like fucking socks. You think you find them all. And then there's another one. Junk mail. Recycling, yay. Monthly tearing of the Jamra and Pizza Pros coupons. Maybe we'll actually use these this celery, carrots, and garlic. This is soup, you know. I'm not getting too finicky about when it goes in. Alright, I'm seasoning with this stuff and some salt and pepper. Alright, I'm eating Duke's beer bread because I was getting a little hungry, and it's good. I made it. You should go watch Duke's Kitchen. So, got a little dry though. This is, I don't know. I don't remember when I made it. Maybe a week ago. I'm gonna eat this piece just because I started eating it. And I'm gonna turn the rest into croutons. And I think I'm gonna use beer because I got a lot of old style around instead of wine. So, cooking the onions this long gets them sweet, and you can add a little sugar. I'm gonna add a little molasses because it's in the back of the fridge and not using it, and I kind of want to see what happens. Not a lot though. And then we're going to add some beer to reconstitute this. So there's my old style with a little bit of molasses in it, and then, oh yeah, is that so? Yeah, I got it sweet, don't I? And then that's a failed pawpaw beer that I emptied out, but I couldn't bear to throw away. It's not bad, it's just not really drinkable, but I think it'll be good in food. And we're boiling. Give me half a beer. Cooking it down. Not on my watch, pal. This one's got a dent too. I bought too many apples, and well, that's alright. It's going to be apple rhubarb pie now, and I'm probably going to make 2 of them, because why not? So the beer mixture is almost absorbed, and then we'll add some broth. Right, mind you, I've been stirring this whole time. So we'll use the escargot setting. And, yeah, start that. And then we'll add... Sue made some lovely broth. Don't get it twisted. That's a green jar. This is not green ham broth or anything. It's just chicken broth and vegetable broth. A little Worcestershire, a little soy sauce. And second thought, I'm going to hit it to sear so I can get it to a boil fast. So, really, this thing only needs to simmer for like 30-40 minutes, so, and it'll be ready, but I don't know when Sue's getting home. So we'll put the lid on. That'll be fine. And then we'll set it to slow eventually. Alright, got my apples chopped. There's rhubarb, breadcrumbs. I'm gradually going through the Ouroboros of fucking dishes, and we'll move on to some pie dough. So I've had this in the fridge chilling. I think I'll put it back in a bit, but yeah. Don't use Crisco too often, but it actually does a pretty decent pie crust, and this will be vegan. It's boiling, set it to slow cook, and that'll just do it. Alright, so in here I got 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons sugar, and about a half teaspoon salt. And I sifted my flour through my little hand sifter, and then I'm going to whisk it all together. Some ice water and my shortening cubed into my flour mixture. Okay, so you want coarse crumbs, which we've got. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to drizzle this in and work it in. How much of this? As little as possible. You just want it to form a ball of dough that's not sludgy and wet. You want it to just hold together and have a nice consistency. Then we're going to chill it. And I'm not going to show you this part because I want to keep my dirty hands off my dirty phone. Well, I just cleaned my hands. I'm going to clean them again before I handle the dough. But anyway, my buddy Ben, he was one of the first people I saw making pies a lot. We used to be roommates, so he would pour over the back of the spoon and just very slowly work it in until he got it just to the right texture. I mean, I think it's something like 8 tablespoons of water or something, but really it depends on your dough. You just want to go by consistency. You'll see. Okay, so that's how much water I used, I guess. I don't know. So I got 4 dough balls, a couple larger than the others. I'm going to cover these with a damp paper towel and put them in the fridge. Get them cool. I like Penzies. They tell Trump to fuck off. We got a little bit of flour, a little bit of sugar in there. I think I'll probably add a little salt. And then we're going to mix it up and then put it in a pan and simmer it for a little bit. There, that looks nice. I just kind of eyeballed it and stirred it to coat. Now we're going to just put it in this skillet. Why not? I like to roll on my pizza peel because I can flop it over. The lady will have whatever this thing's called, I forget, but it's 1.5 ounces Kahlua, 1.5 ounce Malibu with chocolate almond milk and a little topping of Lucerne extra creamy whipped topping, and of course a little Hershey's. I cubed up some bread machine bread as well, and we're going to make croutons out of it. Sue's going to show us how. Alright, we're going to cook and stir this till it thickens. With some nice nose blowing in the background. Pie are square, no pie are round. Or, wait a minute. When you can't find your fucking pie pan, your pie are squared. Alright, so croutons.
Croutons. Sandwich sprinkle from Penzies. Yeah, that's real packaging. So we got butter. You just put some butter in there and some olive oil. Just however much you like. And then a whole bunch of the seasoning, or you'll have boring croutons. It's salty. You got your bubbly greases mixing with sandwich sprinkle. Then you just throw in the stuff. The bread. Ow! It's blowing hot air over here. Cooking it on kind of medium high. So the bread is toasting on like slightly less than medium heat. It's got to be greasier though. That is just not greasy enough. So we're going to throw some more butter in there. There we go.
It's got to be greasy.
Yep. Getting toasty and greasy. They're almost done. The issue is you end up burning crumbs and setting off smoke alarms by the time you get them just right.
I'll go hit the bathroom fan. Pre-dinnering.
All right, you cannot do this without Penzies sandwich sprinkle. So please patronize the Penzies.
Penzies. Don't burn them now. Don't burn them now. Oh, lovely.
A little burned. Oh, look at all that burn.
Deliciously burned and greasy.
Well, take it to bed with you.
I mean, I didn't really plan that. It's looking okay. Top's on. Looks kind of like shit, but I'll neaten it up. Rustic. You were expecting company, maybe? All right, there's our soup in our terrible lighting, and we're going to ladle it in with a little bit of the beer bread crumbs, which we did not crouton, but we'll probably crouton more of. And then a little cheese on top under the broiler.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you got to... Got to pull them bay leaves.
Nobody wants the bay leaf.
Layer of breadcrumbs, topped with some pieces of Munster cheese. Into the broiler it goes. So Sue is waiting sadly by the broiler, and we have come to the realization that we have a Whirlpool stove, a Whirlpool refrigerator, a Frigidaire dishwasher, and a Frigidaire washer and dryer. We bought the wrong brand of each one.
Dumbasses, no wonder they're terrible.
Just leave it in until you almost forget about it, and it'll be perfect.
Oh my god, beautiful. You passed me the other glove.
The other glove, yes. Ooh. Ah. So I'm going to save these and maybe plant them. Not that line though, but a little bit for our salad. Bam. Din din. Are we cooking greasy enough for you? On the edges, I'm going to turn it down. Oven's running a little hot, so I'm gonna let it cool down. Leave the door open a little bit and then bake it for a little bit longer at 300 or so, because that edge looks pretty darn good already. And beyond good, I don't know. The horribility. Oh, it's not that bad, but it overflowed a bit and I kind of burned the edge a tad, so I just pulled it. We'll see how the filling is, but the crust looks